Virgo has always been one of the most misunderstood signs, admired by some yet underestimated by many. On the surface, they appear calm, helpful, and even modest, rarely drawing attention to themselves in loud or dramatic ways. But this very modesty hides a set of qualities so powerful that it naturally sparks envy. Unlike traits that fade with trends or charm that depends on appearances, Virgo carries timeless strengths, qualities that endure across generations and situations. And it is precisely because these traits are subtle yet undeniable that people often find themselves envying Virgo without even realizing why. What sets Virgo apart is not a craving for spotlight, but their quiet mastery of life. They are ruled by Mercury, which gifts them intelligence, precision, and clarity. But they express this influence in ways that are less about talk and more about action. Virgo is not about promises, they are about results. Their ability to achieve quietly, to build foundations without noise, and to maintain discipline while others crumble, makes them magnetic in an understated way. Envy grows not because Virgo seeks it, but because their presence reveals what others lack. Another source of envy is Virgo's refusal to settle for mediocrity. They hold themselves and others to high standards, not out of arrogance, but from a deep desire for truth and excellence. When they dedicate themselves to a task, whether personal or professional, they rarely do it halfway. Their achievements may take longer, but when they finally emerge, they carry a level of quality that others cannot ignore. This dedication becomes the very reason others look on with envy, wondering how Virgo seems to always end up with results that stand the test of time. And perhaps the most enviable quality of all is that Virgo does not need validation to know their worth. They do not chase approval or demand applause. They simply live in alignment with who they are, and in doing so, they command respect naturally. Their confidence is quiet, but it is unshakable, and that inner strength is what many secretly wish they had. These timeless traits are not flashy, but they are enduring. They make Virgo someone who may be underestimated at first, but eventually admired by all. To understand why this envy arises, we begin with the first of their qualities: unshakable patience, the foundation of their strength and one of the most powerful reasons others look at Virgo with awe. The first timeless trait that makes people envy Virgo is their unshakable patience, a quality that feels almost superhuman in a world that constantly demands urgency. Virgo does not rush blindly into decisions or force outcomes that are not yet ready. Instead, they wait, watch, and move only when the timing feels aligned. This patience is not laziness, it is strategy. It is the quiet strength of someone who understands that the best things in life are cultivated, not snatched in haste. And while others exhaust themselves chasing shortcuts, Virgo builds slowly, steadily, and with intention, earning results that last. Their patience also shows in relationships. While many people demand instant answers or become frustrated when situations take time to unfold, Virgo allows space for growth. They listen deeply, they let silence speak, and they are willing to endure uncomfortable moments if it means finding real clarity in the end. This quality can frustrate those who want quick gratification, but it also inspires envy, because Virgo's calm presence exposes the restless energy of others. They remind people of what they lack: the ability to breathe, to trust, and to wait without fear. Another layer of this patience lies in Virgo's discipline. They are not easily tempted by distractions or fleeting desires. They know that consistency is more powerful than speed, and they live by this truth. Whether it is pursuing a career path, building financial stability, or mastering a personal skill, Virgo does not crumble under delay. They embrace the process, and in doing so, they achieve mastery that others envy, but rarely replicate. The envy deepens because Virgo's patience always pays off. What looks like slow progress to outsiders eventually becomes undeniable success. While others burn out from rushing ahead, Virgo's steady pace brings them to the finish line with energy still intact. Their resilience turns waiting into wisdom and delays into destiny. And when people finally see the results of Virgo's endurance, envy stirs, because they realize that patience was the very key they lacked. This unshakable patience is the foundation of Virgo's quiet power. It allows them to outlast, outshine, and outgrow challenges that overwhelm others. And it is this very patience that opens the way for the next trait that sparks envy: their precision and mastery of detail, the quality that ensures nothing escapes their sharp gaze. Virgo's patience is not an isolated trait, but a force that shapes their entire journey. And it is here that it reveals its true power as a kind of superhuman advantage. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, Virgo stands apart because they understand the long game. They know that planting seeds today may not bring visible results tomorrow, but with steady care, those seeds grow into something lasting. This is why people so often envy them, because Virgo's life becomes a testimony that slow and steady does not just win the race, it creates results worth remembering. In love, this patience allows them to build relationships that are deeper and stronger than most. They do not rush into connections based on fleeting emotions. Instead, they allow time to reveal the truth of others. They watch how people act under stress, how they keep their word, how they handle conflict. By waiting before committing fully, Virgo avoids many of the heartbreaks that others stumble into. Envy arises when others see the stability Virgo enjoys, wishing they too had resisted the temptation of rushing into illusions. In career and personal growth, Virgo's patience becomes a form of mastery. While others jump from project to project, craving quick wins, Virgo stays steady. They refine their skills, perfect their craft, and commit to the long-term process of excellence. Years later, while others look back on wasted effort, Virgo stands with undeniable proof of progress. Their achievements often appear sudden to outsiders, but in reality, they are the slow and deliberate product of countless small acts of patience. Even in moments of trial, Virgo's endurance inspires envy. Where others crumble under pressure, they remain calm, holding the line until the storm passes. Their ability to endure hardship without losing direction makes them a pillar for those around them. People may not say it openly, but deep down, they wish they could remain as composed, as resilient, and as faithful to the bigger picture. This is why patience is more than just waiting. It is Virgo's superpower. It transforms time into an ally instead of an enemy. It creates the conditions for success, stability, and wisdom. And while this quality already sets them apart, envy grows even more intensely when combined with their next gift: a mastery of precision and detail that ensures no opportunity, no flaw, and no truth ever escapes their eye. If patience is the foundation of Virgo's strength, precision is the tool that shapes their legacy. Ruled by Mercury, Virgo possesses a mind that notices details invisible to others. Where most people see the surface, Virgo sees the fine lines, the hidden patterns, the small imperfections that make or break the outcome. This ability to master details gives them an edge in everything they touch, from career to relationships, and it is a quality that naturally stirs envy. People cannot help but wonder how Virgo always seems to spot what they themselves missed. This precision is not about nitpicking, it is about excellence. Virgo understands that greatness is not built on grand gestures, but on small, consistent acts done well. They bring a level of care and accuracy to their work that others struggle to match. Whether it is organizing a project, creating a plan, or simply keeping order in daily life, Virgo's attention to detail ensures that nothing falls apart. The envy comes when others realize how much they overlook, while Virgo quietly ensures that everything is accounted for. Their mastery of detail also shows in relationships. Virgo notices subtle changes in tone, body language, or energy that others dismiss. They can sense when something is off long before it becomes obvious. This awareness allows them to navigate connections with wisdom, avoiding traps that ensnare those who are less observant. While others wonder how Virgo always seems to just know, The truth is that their precision allows them to read situations like an open book. Even in creativity, this gift shines. Virgo may not always flaunt their talents, but when they create, the results carry a polish and refinement that others struggle to achieve. Their projects, no matter how big or small, carry the signature of excellence. And it is this quiet, consistent mastery that draws envy, because people recognize the difference between something rushed and something perfected. Envy grows strongest when the results of Virgo's precision finally reveal themselves. The moment others see the flawless outcome, the seamless plan, or the carefully nurtured success, they realize that Virgo's mastery of detail was the invisible force behind it all. And yet, this gift is only one part of the picture, because their precision does more than shape projects. It shapes legacies. What they touch is built to last, and that enduring quality is what turns admiration into envy. Virgo's precision does not simply make them effective in the present. It builds legacies that endure far beyond the moment. While others may be satisfied with quick accomplishments that shine briefly before fading, Virgo's detail-oriented nature ensures that what they create lasts. Every choice, every refinement, every correction adds up over time, producing results that carry both stability and elegance. This is why people envy them so deeply. They realize too late that while their own efforts dissolved with time, Virgo's achievements remain solid. In work, this mastery is undeniable. A Virgo's projects are rarely rushed. They are carefully built, tested, and perfected. Long after others have moved on, Virgo's work still stands, admired for its structure and efficiency. Their name becomes associated with reliability, a reputation that others crave but cannot replicate without the same discipline. The envy arises when people recognize that Virgo's success was not luck, but the result of countless small acts of dedication, invisible until the outcome could no longer be ignored. This attention to detail also shapes Virgo's personal life. They invest the same care in relationships as they do in their work, remembering small gestures, honoring promises, and noticing what others overlook. Because of this, they build connections rooted in trust and depth. People often envy the stability of Virgo's relationships, wondering how they manage to keep bonds strong while others struggle with constant conflict. The truth is simple. Virgo tends to the details others dismiss, and those details become the threads that hold everything together. Even in moments of struggle, Virgo's precision becomes a source of resilience. They know how to break overwhelming challenges into smaller, manageable steps. They see solutions where others see only problems, because they analyze the situation with clarity. This practical wisdom is another reason envy follows them. While others panic, Virgo is already solving. Their legacy, then, is not one of fleeting victories, but of timeless impact. Whether through work, relationships, or the quiet influence they leave behind, Virgo's precision ensures that their mark is lasting. People may admire their achievements, but they also feel the sting of envy because they realize Virgo created what they could not, something built to endure. And while this timeless precision earns them respect, it is their quiet strength, the ability to remain steady when everything around them falls apart, that deepens the envy even further. Virgo's quiet strength is one of their most enviable traits, precisely because it is so rare. In a world where many rely on noise, bravado, or dramatic displays to appear powerful, Virgo draws strength from silence, composure, and resilience. They are not the ones to boast or to demand attention when times are easy. Instead, they reveal their power when challenges arise. While others panic, Virgo steadies themselves. While others scatter in chaos, Virgo holds the ground. This ability to remain anchored when everything else shakes is what makes their strength both timeless and deeply admired. This strength is not aggressive, but unyielding. Virgo does not need to shout to be heard, nor do they need to dominate to lead. Their influence often comes through calm authority, the kind that makes others feel safe simply by being near them. When storms of life hit, people naturally look to Virgo, even unconsciously. because their presence feels like stability itself. And this quiet influence sparks envy, because many realize that while they can make noise, they cannot create the same atmosphere of trust and safety that Virgo naturally exudes. Another layer of their strength is their ability to endure hardship with dignity. Virgo rarely complains about their struggles. They process quietly, work diligently, and rise slowly, without fanfare. To outsiders, it may look as though Virgo never struggles at all, but the truth is that their resilience comes from their discipline and inner balance. They have learned to transform pressure into clarity, pain into wisdom, and setbacks into new paths forward. This transformation is enviable because it makes Virgo appear untouchable, as though nothing can truly break them. What deepens the envy is that Virgo's strength is rarely about themselves alone. They often use it to hold others up. They become the anchor in relationships, the problem solver in teams, the quiet guide when confusion overwhelms the group. Their ability to carry others while carrying themselves inspires admiration, but also jealousy, because people wonder how Virgo manages to stay so steady when they themselves collapse under less weight. This quiet strength is a kind of hidden power, subtle but undeniable. It is what allows Virgo to move through life with a dignity that cannot be faked. And it is precisely this power that leads into their next timeless trait, the influence of their composure, which inspires others even as it quietly awakens envy in those who cannot replicate it. The influence of Virgo's quiet strength extends far beyond their own lives. It becomes a force that shapes the people around them, sometimes inspiring admiration and sometimes stirring envy. Their composure is magnetic. Without raising their voice or demanding attention, Virgo manages to command respect simply by being steady, reliable, and unwavering. In moments of crisis, their calm presence acts like an anchor, reminding everyone else that not all storms require panic. This natural authority is deeply enviable, because others crave the respect Virgo receives without effort. What makes their influence so powerful is that it is rooted in authenticity. Virgo does not try to impress or manipulate. They live by principles of integrity, and it shows in everything they do. This authenticity is rare in a world full of pretense, and it becomes a source of both admiration and jealousy. People often find themselves thinking, how does Virgo manage to be respected without even trying? The answer lies in their inner consistency. What they say, what they do, and what they believe are always aligned. This quiet influence often makes Virgo a natural leader, even when they don't seek the role. In groups, their opinions carry weight, not because they are loud, but because they are thoughtful. People instinctively listen, knowing that Virgo speaks with clarity and purpose. The envy emerges when others realize that while they may struggle to gain influence, Virgo earns it effortlessly through their calm competence. Another aspect of their influence is the way they elevate those around them. Virgo's steadiness brings out the best in others, encouraging them to focus, to stay disciplined, and to rise above chaos. Yet, this very ability to inspire can also spark jealousy. Some people feel exposed in the presence of Virgo's composure, realizing how much they lack the same self-control. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel threatened, and that envy grows quietly in their hearts. This is why Virgo's influence is both admired and envied. It is a power that does not shout but resonates, shaping environments without force. People may try to dismiss it, but they cannot ignore it. And when combined with their wisdom, the kind that feels timeless and almost prophetic, the envy deepens, because Virgo seems to hold not only strength in the present, but insight into the future as well. Virgo's wisdom is another timeless trait that draws envy, because it feels both practical and prophetic at once. Unlike wisdom that comes from age alone, Virgo's insight is present early in life, born from their analytical mind and their deep observation of human nature. They notice patterns, they connect details, and they draw conclusions that often reveal truths others are not ready to see. When Virgo offers advice, it carries a clarity that feels undeniable, as though they are speaking not just from experience, but from a higher understanding of how things really work. This wisdom shows up in the way they guide others. Virgo rarely speaks without purpose, and when they do, their words often leave lasting impressions. They can cut through confusion with a single observation, simplifying what seemed complicated, or offering a perspective that shifts everything. People may envy this ability because they themselves struggle to see beyond the surface, while Virgo seems to naturally perceive the deeper layers of every situation. Part of this wisdom also comes from their connection to both mind and intuition. Ruled by Mercury, they have a sharp intellect, but their earth element roots them in practicality. This blend makes their guidance timeless, because it is never just theory, it is actionable, grounded, and real. They know how to turn abstract ideas into clear steps, and this ability makes others rely on them again and again. Envy grows in the shadows of that reliance, because people realize they do not have the same inner compass. Virgo's wisdom also shows in their ability to predict outcomes. Because they study patterns so carefully, they often sense how situations will unfold long before anyone else does. To some, this feels uncanny, almost like prophecy. And while they are not mystical in the traditional sense, their insights often come true, because they are based on observation, logic, and intuition working together. The envy this creates is subtle but strong. People admire Virgo's clarity, yet feel exposed by it, because it reveals truths they may have preferred to ignore. At the same time, they long to have that same level of discernment, wishing they could see the world with such depth. This timeless wisdom becomes another reason Virgo stands apart, admired yet envied. But their power does not end with insight alone. What completes their enviable nature is a trait that makes them indispensable: their loyalty, which builds trust so strong that it can form empires of connection and support. Virgo's loyalty is the final, timeless trait that draws both admiration and envy, because it is rare to find devotion as steady and unshakable as theirs. When Virgo chooses to commit, whether in friendship, family, or love, they give fully. They are not casual with trust. They do not offer loyalty lightly. But once it is earned, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in their character. Others envy this trait not only because of how deeply Virgo gives, but also because they know that few people in their own lives offer the same kind of steadfast support. This loyalty reveals itself in actions rather than words. Virgo shows up, again and again, in both small and significant ways. They remember important details, they honor promises, and they quietly stand by the side of those they care for, even when times are difficult. Their loyalty does not fade with challenges, it deepens. And this is where envy grows strongest, because people who betray or neglect Virgo eventually realize what they have lost: a rare, unwavering presence they cannot easily replace. Another aspect of their loyalty is how it builds lasting structures. Virgo's devotion forms the foundation for strong families, enduring friendships, and stable partnerships. They are the ones who invest in the long-term health of a connection, often holding it together when others would let it crumble. This ability to create bonds that survive storms is what makes others admire them so much. But envy arises when outsiders see how much trust Virgo inspires, wishing they had the same reliability in their own lives. Virgo's loyalty is also selective. They do not give it to everyone, and this makes it even more valuable. To be chosen by Virgo, to be someone they trust and protect, is to be part of an inner circle that feels sacred. Those outside that circle often envy the closeness and stability Virgo provides to those within it. They long for the same sense of security, but it cannot be forced. Virgo's loyalty is earned, not demanded. This timeless devotion completes the portrait of Virgo's enviable traits: patience, precision, quiet strength, wisdom, and loyalty weave together into a character that others admire yet cannot easily replicate. And it is this combination that makes Virgo stand apart, leading naturally into the final reflection on why they inspire such envy without ever seeking it. Virgo stands apart not because they seek recognition, but because their very nature creates it. The envy they inspire is not built on fleeting charm or loud displays of power. It comes from timeless traits that endure. Patience, precision, quiet strength, wisdom, and loyalty form a foundation so solid that others cannot help but notice. These qualities make Virgo reliable in storms, effective in action, and trustworthy in bonds. And while people admire them for these gifts, envy always lingers, because few can embody them with the same consistency and grace. What makes this envy even more striking is how unintentional it is. Virgo does not try to provoke jealousy, nor do they measure themselves against others. Their focus is inward, on growth, alignment, and doing things the right way. They do not seek shortcuts, they do not crave applause, and they do not need constant validation. It is this independence from approval that makes them magnetic, because their worth is self-sustained. People envy Virgo not just for what they achieve, but for how they achieve it. Quietly, steadily, without losing themselves. Another reason envy follows Virgo is the lasting impact they leave. While others fade in and out of relevance, Virgo's influence remains. Their patience creates outcomes that endure. Their precision builds legacies. Their quiet strength inspires respect. Their wisdom offers timeless guidance. And their loyalty creates unbreakable bonds. To envy Virgo is to envy stability, something many crave but struggle to maintain. At the same time, Virgo's enviable qualities serve as reminders. They show that greatness does not require spectacle. True strength does not shout. Real wisdom does not boast. And loyalty, once given, is worth more than gold. These truths unsettle some but inspire others. Because Virgo becomes a mirror of what is possible when discipline, kindness, and integrity are lived every day. In the end, Virgo does not need envy to validate them, but it comes nonetheless. They embody a balance of qualities that others long for, yet rarely master. This is why Virgo will always stand apart, admired, respected, and yes, envied. Not because they try to shine brighter than others, but because their light is timeless, steady, and impossible to extinguish. And in that steady glow lies the quiet power that makes Virgo unforgettable.